Let's try this one last time. I have tried to make this vlog a couple times now today, and mostly this cat. Cinder, say hi. Say hi, Cinderella. She obviously loves being filmed. She's been ridiculously pestilent today, and so I haven't been able to really get this vlog going. And it's also been very frustrating because there's so much to update on that I keep getting kind of bogged down and wondering where to go and what to talk about. So I'm going to try and make this. I'm going to try and make it short. I'm going to try and make it so that I don't have to edit, at least not very much, because I really don't like editing, and I'm not very good at it, to be honest. I think we all know that. Hi, everybody. It has been a really long time since I've talked to you. There's a couple reasons for that. One being that I wasn't sure how much of what's going on that I was going to share, and also because I feel like there's a lot of YouTubers out there that are much bigger than me that are going through a lot of the same things that I am or have gone through in the last while, and because they're bigger YouTubers and have bigger followings, I feel like my stuff isn't really as relevant, I guess, which is so silly. It's so silly, but it is what it is. So then I decided I was going to start vlogging again, and every time I would sit down, my get up and go just kind of got up and went. But I'm here and hopefully back because I really did enjoy doing vlogs when I was doing them. So let's get into stuff. Let's talk about weight first. I am 20 pounds down. I'm still on metformin. Metformin is still going well. 20 pounds down, mostly because of running. I randomly decided to sign up for a half marathon, which was the best and worst mistake. Well, I should say it this way. Worst and then best mistake of my life. Like I said, I've lost 20 pounds. Mostly the only change that I've had is since starting metformin is running. And partly I signed up because I knew that with a 5K or a 10K sign up, I wouldn't train for it, therefore would not be running. I would just show up race day and then pretty much be really sore the next day, and that was it. Whereas with a half marathon, I knew I would have to train for it, so I signed up, and then as soon as the confirmation screen came up, cat hair, as soon as the confirmation screen came up, I just kind of sat there and stared at my phone and went, no, what did I do this for? I hadn't run at that point pretty much in a long time, but especially more than a mile in years. So yeah, 13 miles is coming up. That is coming up on Mother's Day, the United States Mother's Day, which is May 10th. I will be there with somebody from my running group, and we're going to share a hotel room, and then we're going to run and go to breakfast, and then I'm going to single rider line all the way through Disneyland and California Adventure, and I will be very excited. So that's going ultimately TTC wise. Before we do any kind of treatment or embryo adoption or anything like that, which I'll talk a little bit more about in a minute, I do want to be another 15 to 20 pounds down. So I'm trying to kick that into gear. I've been in a little bit of a weight loss rut. I'm a little bit bloated right now, especially in my face, because AF just left the building. So you can definitely see that I've lost weight even in my face, even though it's bloated. But I am still a little bit AF chubbed out, but that's okay. So yeah, another 15 to 20 pounds before we start treatment. Obviously that means, or embryo adoption. Obviously that means that we are not pregnant at this point, and I have gotten a few tests here and there that have been very, very light lines. But nothing that has progressed any further. I definitely would have let you all know about that. I am putting more stock into those light lines and assuming that it was the start of a pregnancy, but it hasn't really hit me as hard when AF comes. when those lines don't progress. So like I said, I have been putting more stock in it, thinking that it is the beginning of a pregnancy, but knowing that my egg quality sucks, therefore our embryo quality sucks, I am not expecting it to get any darker or progress anymore, which kind of is a catch-22. It's kind of nice because I don't constantly feel like I don't know. I don't constantly feel like I'm in that black hole of miscarriage, but at the same time, how sad is a place is that to be, just to not expect anything to progress. Anyway, so that's kind of where I'm at with that. TTC, we obviously are still a TTC. We are considering maybe doing a couple more IUIs, maybe doing another round of IVF after not only me losing a little bit more weight, but also being on the vitamins and stuff that were recommended to boost egg quality by my doctor for 6 to 8 months, which I've been on them for quite a while. I've been kind of slacking lately, but cat hair all over me. But we might try IVF one more go, having done all that. We are still also considering embryo adoption, and that's kind of still on the table, but we don't want to do that until I'm a little bit more down weight-wise, to try and avoid any kind of gestational diabetes or weight-related issues in pregnancy. So that's where we're at with all that stuff. I still have a bunch of IVF drugs, so we'll see. In terms of other stuff, we've got a lot of stuff going on with the house. The kids are now in separate rooms, and Bop got to pick her own theme. It is the Alice in Wonderland room, but now we're having some issues because Veggie, and I'll get a little bit more into this in a minute, but Veggie is the one that has the Harry Potter room and had like a wardrobe or an armoire, and it holds all of the dresses. And Veggie wants it out of the room because none of those dresses are Veggie's. So the problem is that it doesn't have enough drawer space to just move over to Bop's room, because we do still need drawer space. So I'm at this point working on making Bop's closet good enough that I can have drawers to put in pants and shirts and whatnot, but also have space to hang dresses. And that's been kind of frustrating because I wanted to build an armoire and my husband does not want me to, because he doesn't want to spend money on that. So I've been looking at like built-in stuff and modular and whatever, and I'm not liking anything that I'm finding. I'm having issues. Also, we're looking at trying to kind of nice up our bathroom. I want cabinets in there. That's the one really kind of crappy thing about our house. We have great storage space in our kitchen, but anywhere else we have one closet in our house that is actually a closet, and then there's our closet, but like actual closet space, we have one, and the rooms are made such that the closets don't really exist. So every single towel and blanket we own at this point is in this one tiny closet in the hallway, and it's really frustrating. So trying to get to this point where we can build cabinets into mine and my husband's bathroom, and then hopefully have a little bit more space. The problem is that where the cabinets would go is where the cat's cat box is, and they are indoor cats, so they don't just have the option of going outside. And I don't know where else we would put a cat box, because I don't want it in spaces that we go in all the time. So it's really frustrating. But we're working on that. And this has become the year of getting rid of stuff that we are not using. I am decluttering this year. That is the name of this year. That is my theme. So at this point, I've gone through room by room to get rid of just the basics: clothes, toys, whatever. And we're starting to go, a lot more in depth with it. We've gone through the garage. Cat hair. We're going to go through the shed again. I already went through the shed once, but a shed is a shed for a reason. I mean, it's a bunch of stuff in there. So we're going through all that stuff. We're going through rooms again. And I am just on a mission to get rid of a bunch of stuff that we just don't use, don't need, or whatever. We're not going minimalist. I would love to be able to do that. I would love to have the desire to do that, but I don't really have a desire to do the minimalist thing. I think it's great, but it's just we're not quite that into it. But I do want to declutter. I come from a very long line on both sides of huge pack rat type of people, and I do not want anything to do with that. My grandmother is at the point that everybody is terrified of her dying, not because, this is going to sound wrong, not because we're terrified of her being gone, which sounds, like I said, it sounds awful. We don't want her to die, obviously, but the actual terrified of her dying part is because we're all terrified of going through her house. Her house is so bad. I mean, she could probably go on an episode of Hoarders, especially the garage. And there's rats and mice, and it's just a big disaster. And it's very prevalent in both sides of my families. So that's just something, that's a point that I do not want to get to, which has been it's been a big theme in my life, seeing other people's major issues and not wanting anything to do with that, so just not doing it. For example, hoarding or drugs. I've had quite a few people who are severe alcoholics or drug addicts in my family on one side or the other, and it's totally turned me off. So I went through a little crazy phase, as I think most people do, but realistically, my crazy phase was really just not that crazy. It was kind of more of like that blip on the radar, in terms of alcohol and sluttiness. But I have never once smoked anything. I've never touched drugs of any kind. The most I've done is drinking. So having seen my sister and my brother go through major addiction issues, it's not even something I want to touch. So it's kind of similar to the stuff issue. And I've just noticed lately that I feel very claustrophobic if we have a lot of stuff sitting around. So I'm kind of trying to do that. Right now, the kids' rooms are pretty much done. Really working on the playroom. The problem with the playroom is that we use a lot of that stuff. I know I'm totally rambling, and I apologize. So I'll stop with that. But I'll update with decluttering stuff another vlog, maybe. And running stuff, I'll do another vlog. I do still want to go through and do major information vlogs about fostering. Mostly at this point, I think, for me. But if there is anybody that's interested to know specific details, sorry. And I know I've promised those before. Going through all the paperwork was what caught me off guard and kind of prohibited me from doing that, because going through all the dates and all the financial and all the everything just got so overwhelming that it never happened. But I do still want those kind of on record. In terms of family updates, specifically, work for my hubby is going really well. He's really enjoying stuff, and he's just started a new app with a couple of people he knows, and I think it's public, but I'm not totally sure. So I'll check on that, and if it is, I'll put a link in the box below. If you have an Android, check it out. It's pretty cool. You can pretty much, well, you'll have to go to the website because I'm not sure how much I can actually say publicly. I'm sorry. But I'll put that there if it is public. If not, I'll put it up when it is public. So work's going pretty well for him. He's having a good time. He's traveling a lot for work, which is kind of hard for me. We have started post-adoptive therapy, which is definitely helping. And the kids love the therapist, He is amazing. And like I said, been very, very helpful. We're really trying to work through sleep issues with Bop because Bop has major sleep issues. They both do, but Bop's are more affecting her day-to-day life. We are also working on Veggie's Hulk mode type of tantrums. We are working on really solidifying what family means and the fact that we aren't going to be giving them away, that kind of thing. So we're really working on all that. Other than that, in terms of family updates, we have one major update that has changed our family dynamic quite a bit, and yet not so much. We don't have any other babies in the house. No babies, but we may at some point. Like I said before, BioMom is pregnant and is due in, I think, April or May. So we may get a phone call about that baby. We don't know, but we are open to that. The big change that I'm talking about is that one of our kiddos is transgender. So we brought home two gorgeous, amazing little girls, and we now have one little girl and one little boy. They are 5, so nothing major has changed. It's all been social transition at this point, and I will make vlogs about transgender and our experiences with everything. Maybe I'll make another one later with kind of the starts of everything, but that has been a major change here. So I do know Megan, who is going through basically the same situation. I mean, same age, same transition type of deal, where we both had little girls that are expressing as little boys, identifying as little boys now. I think the most major difference in our situation at this point is our states are so very, very, very different. And I'm not sure if she's mentioned in her vlogs exactly what state she lives in. So maybe I'll talk about that later, just the differences. But I want to make sure that she's mentioned what state she's actually in before I put that out there. But we have connected through Facebook, and it's been really great to have somebody else who's going through the same things, especially with the same age. I originally didn't know whether I was going to talk about this on YouTube or not, but I feel like it's kind of important because there's so much out there about transgender right now, which is great. We need the publicity, which sounds kind of crazy, but we really need the acceptance portion to really start kicking into gear. Especially because my kid is so young, and this is going to be something that really affects all of our lives, but especially his. So I think there's just not a lot out there, not only about family and personal experiences, but especially in regards to experiences within the age range that we're talking. So I do think it is important to talk about. Oh, I just got a text message and the little thing came up and then it's gone from my phone. I'm not sure how that happened. Anyway, but that is a huge family dynamic change for us, and I will be making vlogs about it. If you have any questions about anything that I've mentioned thus far, please feel free to ask them below or PM me. Or if you're on my Facebook, contact me there to ask questions. But yeah, gardening update. I'll do a gardening update. That's been interesting. Last year was the year of the squash bugs. This year seems to be the year of disgusting maggots. Yeah, not so happy about that. But yeah, I think that's kind of it right now. At least that's where I'll leave it, especially because we're almost at 20 minutes. So I will talk to you guys later. Like I said, please feel free to ask me any questions, and I will see you all soon. Bye.